Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Our research-backed videos are engaging, easy to follow, and they help ease the daily challenges like agitation and anxiety so that you can focus on connection and joy. Available by subscription on mobile and TV apps, Zinnia makes every day a little bit easier. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.
Welcome to Medicare Moments with your host, Toni King. Hi, Toni.
How are you doing today, Jim?
I'm doing great. And as we start this podcast, it reminds me of a lyric from Baby Boomer days, which is, here's my story.
Here's my story.
It could have been
sad but true.
But you made it better, and it's true, right?
And it is true. I did make it better. That's what's so amazing. This happened to someone who called me and was having a hard time with his Medicare, and he got the wrong information. All they wanted to do was sell a plan. He got the wrong information from an agent, and it almost took his life.
As you have said so many times, Toni King, the agents that are trying to sell something are trying to sell not necessarily with your best interests at heart. Their best interests are what they're trying to sell.
Sure. There are a lot of agents out there that are ethical and moral and truthful. So you just need to be careful. Jim, talk to me about the question.
Here it goes. The first week, my wife and I moved to Houston from Oklahoma. I had a wonderful surprise on my front yard. There was your Medicare column discussing different Medicare options for someone with health issues. Now, I should put a stop there for a second and tell folks, Toni also is a newspaper columnist, and she's in about 100 newspapers all across the U.S. On this person's front lawn was a copy of a newspaper with one of Toni's articles in it. It goes on. I'm 70 years old and am seeking medical care from MD Anderson for colon cancer. I enrolled in the Medicare Advantage HMO when I was in Oklahoma and was told that I could transfer to a Houston doctor when I moved on June 15th. I made a big mistake in enrolling because I did not know I could wait until I moved. Now I have discovered that MD Anderson does not accept this Medicare HMO plan. I need to enroll in a Medicare supplement, but I do not know how to disenroll from this Medicare Advantage plan and return to Medicare with a Medicare supplement. Time is ticking because my cancer treatment needs to begin soon. I need to do this fast. Toni, can you help me? James from Spring, Texas.
And I was able to help James. That's what's so amazing. He did not know how to navigate through the Medicare system. And this was overwhelming. It was a great compliment.
You know, when people have an illness like this, there's all of the stuff like we're talking about here that you deal with, but there's also an emotional toll that happens to people, right, Toni?
Oh, definitely. And his wife was just a basket case. She did not know what to do. And when you're dealing with MD Anderson, that's a whole different situation. There's different cancer hospitals nationwide. Tulane, UCLA, Mayo Clinic, all the cream of the crop. So let me explain to you how the Medicare team helps people who need to disenroll from their Advantage plan. Not everybody can disenroll. They need to return to original Medicare. This person was having what's called a Special Enrollment Period, an SEP, that could help him qualify for a change, but he was also coming off group health insurance. So he enrolled in the Advantage plan, and the SEP, there's certain times that you can join, switch, or drop your Medicare Advantage plan, even if you're not doing what's called Medicare's annual enrollment. James's SEP was moving out of his area. He was moving from Oklahoma to Texas. That was his SEP, and he needed to be disenrolled so that he could start the treatment at MD Anderson. Now, he had just got on his Medicare Part B. Medicare Part B started in June. When your Part B is starting, you have a 6-month window where you can get a Medicare supplement without having to answer a health question. So he could do that. But because he was moving from one area to another, he had a time limit. He had a 60-day window. He could go from the Advantage plan back to original Medicare. And what it took was prescription drug plan, sign up, and that moved him out of that Medicare Advantage plan into a prescription drug plan.
So his 60-day window began on June 15th of that year and it ended August 15th.
Correct.
That's the 60-day window. Special enrollment periods, that's one that you described and quite well. Thank you, Toni. But there are other issues that qualify for special enrollment periods, and we're going to talk about those right after this break. Don't go away.
Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Zinnia offers research-backed videos intentionally created for people with dementia, engaging, calming, and easy to follow. Whether you need to ease agitation, create moments of joy, or make daily routines smoother, Zinnia is here to help. Family and professional caregivers use our content to turn challenges into opportunities for connection. Accessible by subscription on mobile devices and connected TVs, Zinnia is simple to use whenever you need it. Because when caregiving feels easier, life feels better. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.
Welcome back to Medicare Moments with your host, Toni King, America's Medicare expert. And we're thankful to be recognized by FeedSpot as one of the top Medicare podcasts in the whole United States of America. All across the fruited plains, Toni brings expert advice to everyone needing it for Medicare and how to do it. Toni, what are special enrollment periods? There are more than one. In this particular case, James was moving. What are the other special enrollment periods that Medicare provides for people?
Well, the one thing that people need to realize is because James had moved from Oklahoma to Texas, that triggered his SEP. But he also was coming off his company insurance. So important because his Part B started, like I said a few minutes ago, he had a 6-month window he could get a Medicare supplement. Not a lot of people with the other SEPs have that situation. That one is very important. The other SEPs is if someone enrolls in Medicaid. When you get on Medicaid, that starts a whole new situation, and you can change Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be able to go back to a Medicare supplement because you're on Medicaid, but each state has their own rules. People can qualify for extra help for prescription drug plans if their income is changing. That's an SEP. If they move into a long-term care facility, that's a move. That triggers an SEP. So if you need to go into an Advantage plan because you're now moving into a long-term care facility, you can do that. If you need to go back to original Medicare with that long-term care facility, you want to see what your situation is.
And I think that's a really important tip, Toni. I don't think most people would consider moving into a long-term care facility as a special enrollment, but it is. And that's important because just again, get back to what kind of duress are you under when you're trying to make those plans? Sometimes they come up on you really fast and you're trying to cover a lot of bases. And it's good to know that you can rearrange your Medicare if something like that happens.
Well, the person that's going into the long-term care facility, they're generally not taking care of their health care. That is their kids or their spouse. Okay. And the kids don't understand everything. So you've got to look at it all. What benefits are you on when you're going into that long-term care facility? You really need to take your time and look at everything. Email us, call us, and we can give guidance. If
you want to ever email Toni, and she welcomes your emails and your questions, just email info@tonisays.com. That's TONISAYS.com for assistance. And, if you don't want to do that, you can give a call, 832-519-8664. 832-519-8664. Toni, loss of credible prescription drug coverage can also trigger a special enrollment period?
Yes, and people need to know that. What's loss of credible prescription drug coverage is losing your employer benefits. You've only got a certain window, and that is like 63 days. Now, how do you count 63 days? Just give yourself 2 months. That's 60 days. Don't wait more than 2 months when you come off your company insurance to get a Part D prescription drug plan, or the penalty will go all the way back to the day that you got Part A. And I had one gentleman that was 15 years worth of penalty. He came off his employer benefits and he was like 80, 85 years old. So the penalty went all the way back to the day that his Part A started.
This is a really great tip from Toni, because that will also save you money. And that's really a shocking and a hard financial hit to take when things like that happen. So talk about receiving Medigap and Medicare supplement enrollment for James under this particular situation that he asked you, Toni.
That's what I was trying to stress in the beginning, because his Part B started in June. He has a 6-month window. So he can get a Medicare supplement and go to wherever he wants to go, and Medicare will pay his bill. The supplement will pick it up, and he has no problem with his health side. Now, his prescription drugs, we need to see what's the best plan for him, find out what prescriptions you're going to take if you've got something serious. And then you want to bring all those prescriptions and make that change for the prescription drug plan. That's important.
And it's a word that you've used before, and it always raises my eyebrows when you use it, which is Medigap, right? Medigap supplement. I know it's common in the industry. We've not said it much on our podcast, but we do bring it up, and it always just catches my attention.
Well, both words are mentioned in the Medicare and You handbook. Back when Medicare first got started, it was called Medigap. Then they started calling it Medicare Supplement. We mostly know it as a Medicare Supplement. So Medicare Supplement and Medigap are the same thing.
Well, Toni, you said this was a true story when we started this podcast, and I guess it's an example of what you say with Medicare. What you don't know will hurt you.
Oh, it will hurt you, and it'll last forever. It doesn't just last for 1 month. Your penalties will last forever. And that's why I have my books, the Medicare Survival Guide that's found on Senior Resource. And we've got the new book, Maze of Medicare. People, they just need to understand their Medicare and put the control on their side. Don't put control on the insurance company's side, right?
Right. So you can pick up a copy of Toni's books, The Maze of Medicare, at tonisays.com, TONISAYS.com. SeniorResource.com is the home for Toni's articles, Toni's podcasts, and also Toni's books as well. So we encourage you to go there. And Toni, nice to work with you on this edition of Medicare Moments.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim, and we had fun. And we met because of Medicare, didn't we?
We sure did. We met because of Medicare. Really seems like a long time ago, but not really, I guess. But we did.
It was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years. I just keep getting younger, Toni. I don't know about you. Or at least I feel that way.
I feel the same way. I don't think anybody can keep up with me. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, America. Keep us posted. You can visit me, TONISAYS.com, or give me a call at 832-519-8664. And I will talk to you later, Jim, because I'm fixing to go walking. I got to use some energy.
Bye, Toni.
Bye, Jim. Hi, I'm Toni King, host of Medicare Moments podcast. Join me every Wednesday as I share tips, strategies, and little-known facts I've learned over the past 20-plus years. I put Medicare into people terms, and I want to help you personalize your Medicare, because with Medicare, it's what you don't know that will hurt you. Medicare Moments is available now anywhere you listen to podcasts.